All right, we are now joined by first-year Frostburg State head coach Eric Wagoner. Coach, can you give us an opening statement on the outlook of Frostburg State's 2022 season?
Sure can. Appreciate you guys having me today and the opportunity to speak on Frostburg State football. The outlook on the season is we're just preparing ourselves to get ready for game one and move on to conference play and taking everything a day at a time. Same as everybody else is in the conference. We are trying to get ourselves better as camp's going on, improve ourselves offensively, defensively, some new schematics going in, kind of with the changeover of some of our staff. So, a lot of the guys got a taste of it in spring ball, and now we're putting in the full menu here in camp. So guys are upbeat. They're excited to be back at football. One thing that's always been true is the players up here love playing football. They love getting out. They love competing. And we've seen a lot of that in camp. And just working to get ourselves, ready for that first game. And then the gauntlet of games that follows it, with no bye week built in. You got to be ready to go game one, and you got to be ready to go game 11. So building depth is a big key to it also.
Any questions? Jonathan, go ahead. I think you're muted, Jonathan.
Sorry about that. Coach, after winning a share of the Mountain East Championship a season ago, talk about Frostburg's season outlook, knowing that you could reach NCAA postseason play with another big season this year.
For sure. The co-conference champions split last year. That was great. That team was awesome. The coaching staff I worked with was awesome. But we've moved on from that because anything that was done then doesn't really matter anymore. We are very much focused on the opportunity to make the playoffs. And we've put to bed the notion of, well, we would have been there last year, we would have done this, we would have done that, because that's all gone and it doesn't matter anymore. What we're trying to get our guys is looking at the part of putting yourself in the position and having the opportunity to be in the playoffs this year. It's a big deal to our guys. It's a big deal to our coaching staff, and obviously it's one of those goals that you talk about early in the season of, what do we need to do to put ourselves in position to get a chance to be in postseason play.
Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, Coach. Just had a question about your all specialists. I'm a big special teams guy, so I like to know what's going on around the MEC. Dane Coots had a very successful year last year, did a tremendous job. What are your expectations for him this year?
Dane is a big special teams guy too. That was my first role before I ever got a DC position, was being a special teams coordinator. So Dane is an absolute gamer. He loves football. He kicks all the time. Have to talk to him in the summer to make sure he's not over kicking himself. I got to slow him down in camp. He'd go out and kick all day if he could. I think expectations are there, always to improve, no matter what position it is or who it is. They should improve from year to year to year. But expect Dane to continue his high level of play that's really started in that COVID season of 2021 in the spring, and then continued through last fall. And I think he's going to continue to be better and better and better and better.
Go ahead, Ben.
Coach, first year head coach, new to the transition. Personally, how's that going for you?
Well, it's been a little different than any other transition I've made during my coaching times, but it's been enjoyable. I learned something new every day. Just trying to take mental notes and physical notes of, hey, this worked, this didn't work, do this differently next year, don't do this ever again. But it's been fun. The best part of it is getting out and coaching the players and getting to work with them on the field and the meetings and everything like that. Any job there's parts that are great and parts that you're like, oh, I didn't know this came with it. But it's been fun. It's been enjoyable. It's been such a great learning process. At the same time, I'm just ready for the football portion of it now.
One more, Jonathan.
Yeah, Coach. Quarterback Graham Walker threw for 2,300 yards last year and 25 touchdowns. Talk about his leadership on an offense that returns 5 players this season.
Yeah, I mean, Graham is obviously extremely important to the program. Anybody that watches football now, from high school to youth league all the way up to the pros, know how important that quarterback position is, and having somebody with Graham's experience, his leadership, and not just in college. You go back and look at his high school track record too. He's been a guy that steps up and gets the most out of his teammates, and he gets the most out of himself. He holds himself extremely accountable on everything that he's doing, and tries to raise everybody's level around him. He's going to be that guy that's going to be leader on the offense. He's going to be a guy that needs to be somebody that speaks up, and he's got that experience. He's done it, and with five guys returning on offense, he's got to help bring all the rest of the players along. So he's done it before. Like I said, his track record's been great at it, and just continue to work in with him to improve on himself too. I mean, every year, every player, we go in there and we know we're not going to repeat the year before. We're going to get better or we're going to get worse. So as he's trying to, build continuity with the rest of the guys on the offense, he's making sure that he's elevating his game too.
Coach, how about the other side of the ball? Again, 5 returning starters. Luke Freeman, 10.5 sacks last season, will return this season. Talk about your leaders on that side of the ball.
Yeah, we lost some good ones. Obviously, I was on that side of the ball last year, and those guys that graduated meant a lot to me. Coming over here and playing through COVID and the spring season and then the fall season. Great football players, but it's college football. It happens every school at every level in every state, is that they graduate guys and they have to find guys to replace them, and that's what you go out and recruit for. We have some guys that have been here for a little while. A pretty good sized class that came in during the 2020 COVID year, that last year was kind of that real first year of football because nobody got anything in 2020. But now they've been in school for 3 years. Some of them are 20, going on 21 years old. It's time for them to step up. Obviously, Luke had a great year last year. He's one of those guys that he just puts the work in. He's going to lead by example, becoming more and more vocal every day, which is great. But his work ethic and the way he does things, and on the front line too. Robert Horsey is another one. Him and Luke are two of those guys that they're the ones that are getting guys going and making sure they're ready to go and holding the line on them and holding them accountable. And we've got some guys mixed in on the defensive side of the football too that have played a lot of games. Kyan Loney out at corner, Dylan Culp and Mike Morgan at linebacker. So it's not, we graduate all these guys and we got guys that haven't played before. We just got guys that, haven't got nearly as much game experience as the other guys, but they're ready to go. And they're chomping at the bit just like everybody else, going through camp, hitting each other and ready to get into some game action.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you joining us this afternoon, and good luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate you guys taking time to have me on here. Look forward to a great MEC season.